now say 30, 35, 40 years as a teacher, and there are many people who are shocked. If the magician puts 130 euros on a plate from the Alps and people understand it, it is much more difficult to get that fretboard than that lid.
People are unaware that we often argue about the prices, as there have been numerous occasions when I have exclaimed, "Damn, do you know how much effort it took us to acquire this? I would rather not sell it, you know. It pains me to do so because it holds so much value." Yes, because obviously individuals are not aware of the effort it takes until you put that fretboard or that cover or whatever up for sale. The work
and irrigation.
And the years that perhaps we have been attempting to acquire that wood or that purchase in order to be capable of accomplishing it. As an illustration, it has been approximately 2 years since I went to purchase cedar in South America, and it took more than a year for the containers to arrive at their designated location. In arriving at the wood, it took me over a year from the time I started my journey until I reached this point.
The usual difference, the big difference between the price of something and its value.
Value false.
And the value unrelated to price in some cases, both on the downside and on the upside.
Guitars face the same problem.
Yes.
I know highly skilled individuals as builders who are unable to sell at the price they are supposed to sell.
That is our war, Tony. It's a war we have.
And then there are others selling at a price not within range, yet they are selling it.
Yes. I get that we need to create a brand, and I get that marketing is beautiful. But as art advocates, we also understand that people need more culture, more information, more things will fall into place, that sometimes we feel like that, right? Truly, we're getting images that seem like a river flowing against the current, and we're here, you know? You feel like this, but it's also beautiful. It's satisfying when you see that you're creating a struggle to try to create a culture where people decide for themselves what you've commented is the same as wood. Realize how it looks in our world when it tells you, hey, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, and you say no, but come and try the guitar. No, but I'm specifically looking for that. Yeah, but come on, try it and try this, try that, because this one has been working for fewer years but has an incredible talent and has obtained super old wood from a retired craftsman. It has the stock as it should be, as I consider it to be old wood, and then it keeps buying wood even if it cures it in a drying kiln. The natural cure, but he has it and is picking up a piece of wood, leaving another one and doing a good job. And that guitar right now, it is clear that they should raise the price.
It is important for the consumer to have an understanding that there are individuals who lack knowledge and may not be aware of the complete story.
From the principles, from the wood, what are you doing here, right? But how fascinating. And what about the problem of drying wood to its natural moisture content? Many artisans. So you don't know. Freshly cut wood, it's known by everyone. Almost everyone knows that freshly cut wood can't be used because it's unstable. The issue of dampness, there would be cracks, problems. Acoustically, it would be a disaster. So the wood needs to have a drying point. Sometimes machines are utilized that have numerous advancements on that, and it functions without a doubt. Freshly baked, after that completed process, the guitar can be crafted, but we are also traditionalists in that particular aspect. I mean, purchase oven wood, but preserve it. Retain it for a duration of 8 or 10 years in an appropriate climate in your cellar, at a suitable humidity and temperature. Undertake this because that will be the sound you desire for the future. However, there exist skilled craftsmen who construct not with young green wood.
No, however, if they expedite the drying process of the wood by accelerating it.
Not like the natural.
However, not only, even the process of hand sanding is distinct from using a sander for sanding. I mean, you sand manually, your hand cannot generate the same level of heat as a sander, which operates at a higher speed and temperature. You remove a cover or a bottom from a calibrator, sand it in a calibrator, and it will be hot. You sand it by hand, and it won't exceed the temperature it was at. He is already making changes to the molecular structure of the wood, and he is also affecting the natural drying process. Either work with brushes or work with computer numerical control machines. All this takes a process that, adding, causes the technical characteristics of the wood to be lost.
And acoustic qualities.
In the various methods of drying with a dryer, the outcome also relies on the specific drying system that is employed for the process.
Do you have a drying room?
Yes, we have two different drying systems, two different dryers. We have an older system that is air-based, using hot air, which is more aggressive.
Much more.
More aggressive.
People know, they heat.
The air conditioning, or AC, is a system we rarely use anymore. We also have another vacuum dryer that causes less damage to the wood by creating a vacuum and being less aggressive. As a result, the wood undergoes fewer changes and rarely cracks. However, even with this system, very delicate woods can still crack. It is important to note the impact of the AC system and the alternative vacuum dryer on preserving wood quality, reducing crack formation, and improving the longevity and durability of wood products.
But all woods you buy pass through a drying kiln.
No.
Do you also have wood that is naturally dried?
We have all because, well,
Those in both, people who discover.
a massive stock is available there, and it is highly regarded by people when they visit, something that has never happened before.
Yes, it's incredible.
No items for this that we have so large over there that we also permit choosing individuals. We receive visits every day from luthiers from all over the world who come to select the wood piece by piece at our location.
Sure, as they come. I mean, not just Spanish luthiers purchase.
No, of course, people come from all over the world. There are people who come in one morning and take 3 tapas, because of course we cover the entire market, from the hobby maker who starts making his first guitar for fun, to the most professional luthier who makes a few prestigious guitars like BARBER or many others. Or to the largest companies globally, right? So the customers who come are also of different kinds and from all walks of life. We sell products online and also receive visits on a daily basis from our valued customers. People come who take 3 tapas, and individuals come who are able to come from any location around the globe and spend a period of 3 days selecting wood and are able to take a container, correct? Or whatever, because there is everything. So going back to the wood we have there, well, we have wood that is many years old because our company is 66 years old. There is wood that we have there for over 30 years, which has dried naturally, and there is wood.
It relies on the type of wood, on the level of quality.
We provide a personalized drying service. When a customer purchases a part, such as a lid, from our website, we offer the option of a drying service that can be paid for. The part is then dried using the vacuum drying method mentioned earlier. While some customers choose not to utilize this service and allow the part to dry naturally, we also have a selection of wood that has been naturally dried for over 30 years. Additionally, we offer freshly cut wood as we have our own cutting facilities and maintain a continuous production process.
We have everything. From there comes a little the struggle that we always try to create a culture and respect towards the work of the artisan and what the instrument itself is. Why? Individuals, we have come across many people who ask, hey, but why is the guitar worth the price? What is its value? If I've seen the wood and the price it's worth, have you seen the cost of wrapping a guitar? Approximately first class that you can spend on wood without any problem between 600 and 1,000 euros. The wood? It's worth double. But why? Well, let me explain. Take the value of the craftsman's guitar, subtract taxes, subtract the workshop, subtract tools, subtract all the expenses of a self-employed person who needs a plumber, tools, and a van, and then consider the wear and tear on everything that is a company. Imagine yourself as the craftsman. Now envision the craftsman not buying a set of dried wood and building a guitar from scratch. I mean, an artisan of the highest quality for a lifetime. I mean, how it has been. Now we won't change. Something that's worked if wanted.
Certified degree of wood moisture. Certify it because you have done it.
Because you did it. So they used to buy a lot of wood. They used to buy, every time I made a guitar, they used to buy. There are more. I create 1 guitar and purchase 3 guitars. I retain them. Why? Because within 10 years, when you pick up that wood, there is something that will not convince you. Or maybe you have a different criterion within 10 years than you had. And acoustically, the tone of that top or the tone of the holy stick does not convince you completely and you discard it. that craftsman needs 25 or 30,000 euros in Woodstock, only one craftsman. Now the respect that must be given to a craftsman who is doing things well in that way and at the price he is selling the guitar. Creating this culture and with this info, I believe people, when buying a guitar, understand a first-class artisan guitar cannot cost 2,500. It is not feasible. It is a great product built online. A great product built online, which we are tired of saying. Online factory sometimes surpasses many artisans who are there in the workshop. Experience, professionalism, and knowledge matter. A guitar from an experienced craftsman with knowledge and a stockpile of wood is worth its price. It is understood that it is worth 7,000–8,000 euros. It never occurs to you to say that you pay for the label, as someone suggests. Do you pay for the label when buying a guitar? In very few cases, yes, but in the cases of truth, that problem makes sense.
Of course, the label carries behind everything that label carries behind, of course. The label is paid for what that label entails, all the work and the way of working it, of course.
With your knowledge, I understand why you have respect for artisans due to your work. Obtaining high-quality wood and understanding the challenges faced by artisans, such as the difficulty in selling handmade guitars compared to factory-made ones, highlights the value of their craftsmanship. People often fail to comprehend the true worth of art, opting for cheaper alternatives without realizing the significance of the word expensive in relation to artistic creations. There is nothing more pleasant than talking to someone who truly knows the problem of wood today. When you speak to him directly and he understands what you are talking about, he understands all the problems, and it doesn't catch him by surprise that it seems like you are trying to convince him. I don't want to convince you. I
want you to grasp the problem. Sometimes it occurs that you're with someone who gets it, and it's a pleasure to chat with him, because you speak the same language. Another one seems like you're selling something unreal, fabricated. Not like that.
The same thing that the craftsman is saying happens to us with wood. People say, oh, how expensive.
And naturally they lack knowledge of the person behind putting that wood in the market, encompassing everything we have informed you and a myriad of other things, correct? Certainly there are different individuals who may think that you want to exploit them or I don't know what. It's just that you don't know the cost of bringing this wood, the situation. I mean, you have no idea. And there are people, as Tony says, who grasp it because they know it due to more experience. But of course, the same thing occurs to us that many don't value because they are unaware.
It is ignorance.
There is a wood that everyone puts on a pedestal, which is the Madagascar Palo Santo, and few people know that the Madagascar Palo Santo that is commercialized is the Dalbergia baroni. I am almost completely convinced that 80% of the wood being sold as Dalbergia baroni is not actually that species, but rather another species of Dalbergia from Madagascar.
Alike.
Do you know? And if thousands of Madagascar Palo Santo games have passed through your hands, you will see big differences between one Palo Santo and another. And all Palo Santo Madagascar, Dalbergia baroni, but they couldn't distinguish them on the island.
Many Palo Santos are hard to differentiate, sometimes even the river.
Brazilian Palo Santo, it comes.
The beta.
There are certain ones that are easier. There are other ones that are more complex in nature. They can originate from the identical family, but possess a distinct gender. The pane is distinguished by numerous. The finished star is more complex.
You can see how info is given, because what you're commenting now, people unknowingly sometimes have woods, sometimes we have guitars made of woods that aren't the ones they are. And you say, no, I want either India or Palo Santo de Rio or Palo Santo de India or Cyprus, and suddenly you have another wood and you don't know it. I mean, you must be open to various woods. The hand of the master craftsman will give it depth, will give it tone, will give it acoustic tone, will give the guitar its sound, but one must be open. Why? Why wood? In fact, in Solera collection, we have a green wood from Mahahua. The Poforo also doesn't drive you crazy. And it's a wood that until a few years ago, yes, in the 70s they made the Casa Conde, in the 70s they made inventions. He used to put that wood. I had the fuse open.
To us, for example, as we were discussing earlier, prior to the introduction of new species, right? We enjoy it because before introducing a new species, apart from everything I explained earlier, you have to ensure many things, right? Legal. There is
1.
Continuity provided to our customers so that they can try it out. It is for them to try it. Give samples to luthier. It's not just saying, try this wood, make a guitar with this wood and tell us how it sounds, or for the fingerboards or such. So we have the opinion of a luthier prior to releasing it to the market.
Then there are also clients who are more eager to try than others.
Hey Gil, and before we finish, because we would spend 3 hours talking about how you guys are super fans, or we are fans. In your case, it's professionalism, and you know a world that we don't know. But what about the holy sticks? The Ebony commented on how difficult it is to obtain ebony, and we have a theory, this we will see. It is an urban legend among fans, expert fans, we could say collectors. There is a wood, which would be the ordinary holy stick, that they are making a fingerboard, and Antonio de Torres used it in 99% of all his guitars. In fact, there is a theory, even ours with several friends, that we believe he used to put Palo Santo, and then many people don't know this, it's super interesting, he used to put Palo Santo on all the guitars. Palo Santo from India, yes. We believe that at that time some clients, apart from the classic high society, would say to him, no, I want one made of ebony. He painted it black. I painted it black, but it was not because of Eva Noé. In my opinion, Palo Santo was a better choice and offered a superior experience overall. My question is it better or is it not better? Because I think he did it for acoustic reasons. Let's create our theory that better is very subjective, in the end, lightness and hardness, stability.
If you combine lightness, hardness, and stability, India is a better option for me compared to Levano if you consider all factors. If you keep removing a factor from each one and...
You are planning to purchase a guitar that is, hey, inform the craftsman to construct it using Palo Santo.
What happens is that for the fretboard, it is true that hardness that lasts over time is also sought. Therefore, ebony is more difficult to work with compared to Palo Santo.
Acoustically, but it's worse. Of hardness, of that, it's worth it. Pay attention to the struggle, primarily in sculpting. Hey, the lid cannot be changed, the rings, and depending on what things should not be changed, even the varnish should not be changed or altered in any way. Ebony, like dishes, is a wear piece. If you have to change it, you have to play the guitar a great deal. A great deal. And fruiting.
I believe that the handle, the fretboard, has room for many things.
What happens is that... Confirmed.
Ebony is harder, wears less, but you'll have more trouble with ebony frets than Indian frets. Indian frets are easier to work with.
This time lighter and in sound stability in vibration.
If you speak 99% certain, you'll say ebony poses more issues than India. Let's go, definitely.
Only a few people work with Palo Santo.
In the previous days, it will provide you with additional prestige.
Inform the craftsman who is about to create a top-notch guitar. Do not allow anyone to inform you about Palo Santo. And the craftsman himself can think, what a shame. Craftsman doesn't tell him, as it seems like what Tommy said before. It seems like he's trying to sell him the motorcycle. Yes, he wants to get me one day passing Palo Santo.
Almost 80 to 90% of ebony tuning forks are painted.
That is another one. Despite its ebony color, it is beautiful.
You take 100 guitars from various ebony using manufacturers and see them all black. No ebony exists.
Sometimes they have to be a little more brown, right?
Sometimes not.
It is neither so straight nor so perfect nor so black. I mean, the Evano is not like that.
The evaporator isn't perfect, like in the micro. The Evano is wood, each piece unique because wood has that. It's like people. It is a living entity and every fragment is one of a kind.
You cut down 100 ebony trees in the forest and I assure you that there is not a single one that is completely black. None.
And when you sand it lays, because normally the white or yellow colored veins that are present.
We'll try, starting now, with this info, and because we believe it's beautiful, to enhance the variety of wood, particularly by commissioning guitars with rosewood fingerboards, as we've already done with some artisans on certain occasions.
You used to discuss Parfero for the siphons. Parfero for the fretboard is amazing.
It's better than India, better than India.
More challenging than India. More reliable than India. Even more stunning if desired than India.
And the positive aspect is that would incur a cost, but it pertains to Carlos. In the media, individuals comprehend it. Another theory they also claim is it weighs a lot.
Yes, but sanded fretboard.
But make it finer. If it is harder and heavier, leave it in half, and do it more than double the initial amount.
I have a guitar with a fingerboard of Pablo Santo and...
Absolutely extraordinary.
Yes, it's brutal.
I mean, I want to express wood with practicality, not for visual appeal, not for trendiness, not for... Friend said this is good guitar, another one is used guitar. No, be careful with Palo Santo tuning forks. Torres always used it, and we believe our theory already, this is theory, we think it was for acoustics. Since there was already ebony at that time, i.e. there were already ebony guitars, he never used it, and it wasn't because he lacked access to it, as he had access to high-quality wood, all of them being high-quality wood, he lacked access to ebony. We believe he didn't use it due to acoustic reasons, as his responsibility was to ensure the person's satisfaction. That's why we think he painted it. The holy wood is sturdy, painting it black to convey, here, I wanted ebony, here is ebony. Not supporting this theory, but upon analysis. He was the one responsible for the sound. Then you will try the guitar. It won't drive you crazy, like, be careful because this seems like madness what I'm saying, but of course, put yourself in the place of a genius in which all the factors for him are super important, which they are, to reach that level of excellence. Because we have tried, I have tried in my case, between 8 and 10 guitars from Antonio de Torres. It is difficult to explain when you try that. Large sizes, small sizes, Palo Santo de Rio, maple, when you try that, it is difficult to explain that it seems like a myth when you try it and it can...
No, but I believe the Palo Santo will also endure tensions more effectively than ebony. The tensions of the strings will also withstand them better because it is more in line, more straight in general, more than ebony.
Vibrates better. It vibrates better, and the vibration in the neck part, we, the good craftsmen as always, many do not know. Weigh all the pieces. They weigh, check if weight, density, vibration are important. Man out there.
The flamenco or classical guitar, electric guitars, the fret should not be weighed. And nobody sees it with bad eyes that he weighs himself. Because it needs to have a weight between this and that. The same goes for any other.
And the cypress?
Speaking like this, the cypress seemed like a...
Cypress and walnut is the ugly duckling of the guitar, because we have always had cypress in Spain, also walnut, European walnut, Spanish walnut. It is a wood with many acoustic properties. Even better than in Palo Santo from India. But it is not marketed. When exotic woods started to be imported, those woods were given as second-rate wood. What we imported was significantly superior to what we had.
Given to us acoustically in Cypre, since it is provided to us with sound.
You put on an Indian game.
Start game of...
All guitar makers saying special.
An Indian game for 120 hour is visible clearly. An Indian game for 150 hour is not visible well. Oops, okay. But the cypress, for Indian saints, it's like the pig.
I mean, you spend it all. All the cypress trees are hoops and bottoms. It is done.
No shovels, forks, handles, or anything else. Everything else must be discarded.
We have a whole truck of cypress. A cypress journey, 50 per 100, is not even touched.
The performance is very low. It's a tree that has a significant amount of waste material. Logically, I lost a lot of stain. Besides, it is a very delicate wood that easily stains if you don't dry it or air it properly. And stains never go away.
Hey, personal query.
Cypress.
Cypress, yes, they do have the Spanish Royal Cypress and all. The one from Aranjuez, as you say, is Cypress Aranjuez.
But if it is that cypress is no longer here, in Spain practically, there are loose trees that are cut down, which sometimes call us Hey, I have 2 trees on my inherited property from my father, and I wanted to know if you're interested. And maybe it possesses a diameter that is not worth it. Currently, the situation with cypress in Europe is very complicated and requires careful consideration. The Mediterranean cypress is no longer found in Spain and practically not in Italy either.
In the US, for example, they don't call it Cyprès de Montréal or something similar, right?
No, the one from Monterrey. There is one from Monterrey that is Mexican and then one from Victoria, but not cypresses.
No, it's a new species.
It's another species in South America, right? In South America, they are not cypresses. It is nearly identical.
It has a distinct growth because trees derive nourishment from the earth, from their diet, from minerals, from water, from air, from everything around them. Air affects tree growth, whether more or less. Despite being the same species, there is significant variation in how trees grow in different locations.
Imagine the artisans who have obtained wood, who have wood from 30, 40 years ago from real Spanish cypress. Besides, says Carlos Aranjuez, because the cypress tree there used to have a special reputation for being central, not raining much, cold, I don't know, due to growth.
Slower growth.
Growth? Hey, imagine the price. How much for a cypress guitar like that be sold? Now tell someone.
None left.
No, it's not real. It's not real. They are rare.
That one is no more available as it's marketed and none exist.
That's why it's beautiful that people, the craftsmen, the poor, when they say, look, it's this real cypress game I've carried for 30 years, people say, wow, I want this one, but this one costs, you see, 300 euros more, 400. Someone says, perfect, not off, no. What costly? I'd sell for 1k euros more.
Knowledge needed for value, if not valued in advance.
Well, it's our job, right? And that's why we're here, hanging out and chatting about this topic. Create culture, that people prioritize the value of wood, its selection, composition, and the journey from the artisan to the end product. Emphasize the importance of respecting and valuing the artisan's work, even if one cannot afford high-quality wood. Check if our worlds always intertwine.
I believe that the more open artisans are about what they do, I believe it will be easier for people to understand it.
Yes, also, right? They spread their work a bit their way and explain a bit too. But, well, they are working as well, right? Because we recently had Juan and Paco Barba here, and they are not typically utilizing microphones, right? But the Ciandari and discussions...
I can tell you my tricks, I can tell you my tools that I create for myself to work, right? But ultimately, hands are hands. I can instruct you on kicking a ball, but without the necessary internal resources, you won't be able to manifest it, right? I mean, I do not think anything is lost by teaching. On the contrary, I believe in teaching what one does, spreading exactly what one is doing.
Actually, to conclude without prolonging excessively, let's briefly discuss the course to avoid overextending ourselves and going into too much detail. Provide us with some insight into your thoughts when we were there, explaining the subject of the course you intend to pursue with regards to your role as a collaborator, sponsor, or any other relevant involvement. Well, practically like partners, because it was simple to persuade you when we demonstrated the project to you. We were excited, to be honest. We didn't expect such a great acceptance of that personal deal, because while the artisans have personal contact with you, for us it was going to a big company to tell you a dream. So we didn't know how you were going to see it, you know? So it seemed to us we were excited.
We had been conversing for a while. To be honest, Tony and I had discussed previously our excitement about enrolling in a Lutherie course, and when you all approached us and informed us about the project, it appeared to be a highly professional, top-notch endeavor. Honestly, it seems like a project of very geeky, isn't it? Very geeky, of such quality that it will provide a 360-degree experience to the participants, right?
That it will not only involve taking the course, but they will also have the opportunity to speak with master craftsmen, to ask them questions, to be with them for a duration of 15 days, to have the chance to see the guitar, right?
Observe all the guitars you have here, which is marvelous and suck, correct? Immerse yourself in the rich culture of flamenco guitar music.
That's what we think is crucial.
In short, that's it. It's the overall experience specifically, right? Altogether, what makes the course so interesting.
It's just that we're not all that.
Lots of Luthery courses.
We discussed prior.
Even online for free with better or greater prestige, there is infinity.
We also discovered that the individuals who were going to instruct it were decisive, prestigious individuals.
How?
Francisco Barba, an esteemed speaker, will be presenting at the highly anticipated Gomala conference. We desired it to be something of high quality, and we accomplished it because ever since we engage, we do not desire to become entangled in any undertaking. There is also our drag brand, which is important for us because what it does is prestigious and significant.
And we are all connected as one.
What is it?
Align with our vision of how to do things in accordance with our perspective.
It's just that, Jose Luis, how thrilled we were when you accepted, right? But our intention was to gradually send you info and demonstrate what it truly was, step by step. And although it is a guitar course in which we want, apart from finished pieces, everyone to learn how to make the part from the beginning, to form parts of the guitar, even if they don't have time to finish it, they can take a finished part, and that is very well organized to learn how to make a guitar and then practice at home. But we believe the main part of the course is for a craftsman to have the opportunity to take a collection of guitars that we have been able to select during not really the 13 years that we have been open, but really for over 20 years, collections of guitars among our personal ones, special ones from each craftsman, special ones, not only good ones from that craftsman, the best ones, analyzing those guitars, knowing how to disassemble them through Francisco Sanchez, right? The guitar, how has that guitar been closed and why? Apart from theories, why do we believe it sounds like this? Analyzing the wood it carries and for what reasons? In other words, a debate. It is a debate that involves the conversation and exchange of theories. Because now, how do you interpret a masterpiece? Well, you have to take it and thoroughly analyze it from the deepest perspective, right?
Like a teacher.
We assume.
One explains a painting to someone who hasn't seen it, who doesn't know about art, who is dedicated to painting, right? What he does in art, he will explain to you, and he will...
To educate more things. Analyze that, Tony. It's absolutely insane.
What were you saying about illusion, right? We are also very excited because we have been with the project from the beginning. We have seen it born, right? Since how the facilities have been created, the workshop, and it has been very beautiful, right? The process of seeing the project from the beginning and surely the result.
The key is that I think it was necessary, right? It's what we discussed before on violins or any other instrument, the reputation it has in other countries. And the guitar in Spain is somewhat neglected. Nobody has bothered to give the guitar the significance it truly deserves. He did not even give Torres the importance he possesses within the realm of the guitar. And let there be the documentary, this latest one that was made about Torres, that they have not intervened in. The government or nobody in collaborating in possessing that name that we have there and showing it off everywhere. The world.
You are aware that this documentary is about Torres, who is the great-grandson of Torres, and they contacted us, spoke to us, and explained that they wanted to interview. He also explained to us 4 little problems he had encountered during the process. One of them is having the ability to finance the music that was done through Carl Strepat, and we take care of that. And we gave them a hand with that. We put them in contact with collectors. What we were doing with crowdfunding.
Crowdfunding aids them.
Most surprising is how it was done.
Please do not think that we feel proud. It is truly a shame that I have to tell you that we got involved at an incredible level of intensity and magnitude. It's a shame. I wasn't surprised that it was done. I was surprised by how it was done, more than was done.
Since it was known he had the right long ago.
That's why the city council would eat automatically. When I explained who they were, how they would do it, and with what enthusiasm, you should have told them what you need. No worries. And then to have come here to do an interview, and if we could contribute anything. But there came a moment at the beginning of the project, that our participation in helping him with certain things was almost decisive in throwing. Carl Stripa's music would not have been created if it were not for us, because we financed that project and actively participated. But I am not mentioning it to boast. I am mentioning it out of a sense of shame, because we are insignificant in comparison to a municipal council and the budgets they manage for their own priorities.
One, that the course will help promote the Made in Spain product, which is much needed, because in the end it is a legacy, and ours, flamenco and everything that is the flamenco guitar. So we believe that the course will help with that, to promote what is ours and give it a value. Give it a value that is super important.
Countries without that value are given. Some countries do give it.
In fact, there are countries that value our things more than we do.
That's why.
So, well, yes, we do believe that we have to cultivate the culture of valuing what it possesses.
And distribute it, correct?
Since he does it to us, we believe that.
This course will help with that, to give it value, because it will be a high-quality course.
It is pleasant to have all the collaboration and the assistance that you have provided us in order to get it started. Without you, it would not have been possible. And also the monitoring and advice on many things, right? Because, of course, it implies taking a course of our knowledge. The craftsman has one knowledge, we have another. But, of course, there is a super important part that was the selection of wood, some recommended tools, many things that for us, of course, for you were child's play, right? For us, it is crazy. So finally, starting all this, we believe the result is going to be very good, thanks to the team we have formed.
The general idea is great. It's something that didn't exist.
We're eagerly waiting for it.
Yes, we'll have a great time together. So thanks a lot for having us visited. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts also to the Barber family, because we know that when Luis left, they have entrusted you with full responsibility and trust, and that also makes us happy to have that information and be able to say it publicly. And nothing, thank you very much for coming. Family, we say goodbye to this Chester. Once again, we have stretched ourselves to the infinite, but well, I'm sure the fans will support us until the end. So we send you a big kiss, and we will see you soon in another Chester.
Thank you.